Welcome to Acquire with Ashok. Today, in our talent and transformation segment, we're talking about something that has just hit the ground hard. It's what HRD Corp has just announced. Now, recently, they've gone through what they call a comprehensive organizational reset, which is a very corporate way of saying we've changed things and now some of you are confused. Let's be fair. HRD Corp says stronger governance, better compliance, more accountability. That sounds fantastic. But on the ground, is it going to be a different story? Especially from the comments of the social media readers, it looks like it. Trainers are saying, my programs now are harder to run. Employers are saying, training programs just got a bit more complicated to plan. Now, let's talk about the 14 days before training. Previously, some approvals were happening within 1 to 3 days. That was brought about by the ex minister, YB Stephen Sim. And from 1 to 14, that's not just a small change, that's a major process change. And the logic is audit planning, compliance structure, which is definitely important. But here's the question: are we solving the worst case scenario? Or are we designing for the majority who are all compliant? Because in business, speed is not a luxury, speed is oxygen. You take it away and everyone starts gasping. And let's be honest, for most companies don't plan their training 14 days in advance, as they're still waiting for attendees to confirm. That's the real Malaysian workflow. Now, this is where it gets interesting. Some serious training providers were not even invited to attend the town hall to give their feedback. So it raises a very uncomfortable question. If HRD expects 100% compliance, shouldn't communication be 100% as well? Because right now it feels like if you miss the rule, you get penalized. But if the rule didn't reach you, well, good luck. And look, this is not about attacking HRD Corp. This is about alignment because policy without proper communication brings about a lot of confusion. So let's look at it this way. Let's talk about the impact. Firstly, employees are saying, we plan training within a week sometimes. Why does it have to be extended for 14 days? We need people to apply for leave, get clearance, and so on. Okay, but more planning, I guess, is okay for in house programs. But what about the public programs? Which is ironic because if HRD exists to encourage training, so they should be removing the barriers that reduce or stop training and encourage the ones that speed it up. So here's the question: has HRD measured whether training activity will go up or go down because of this? Because if compliance goes up and the training goes down, then we didn't fix the system. We just made it slower. Now let's talk about the people who won't say anything about this publicly. The trainers, the ones who are mostly affected. To many of them, this is not a side income. This is their money for rent, their money for school fees, money for survival. And when policies shift suddenly, they don't have the reserves like big corporations. So the real question HRD needs to answer is, are we protecting the system or are we unintentionally squeezing the people who keep it alive? Now let's flip it because HRD is not doing this for fun. Nobody is sitting in meetings going, how can we just make the trainer's life more annoying? That's not what's going on. They're trying to reduce the abuse, improve the audit readiness, strengthen the credibility. These are all hugely valid. They're all necessary. But every system has a trade off. So, right now, the industry is asking, is the trade off too expensive? So, this is not just about the 14 days to plan for training. This is sounds like something bigger. It sounds like trust. If the trainers trust the system, they will adapt to suit it. If the employers trust the system, they will invest more and spend more time in training. But if both of them don't, they hesitate, they're confused, then that is the most expensive thing in the economy, hesitation. Because at this moment, nobody can afford to not move. So here's where we stand. HRD Corp is trying to build a stronger system. The industry is trying to survive within it. The answer is not less compliance or more complaints. The answer is, how do we get better alignment between policy and reality? And maybe, just maybe, before we optimize the system for audits, we should make sure it works for humans first. Because at the end of the day, you can have the most compliant system in the world. But if nobody wants to use it or knows how to use it properly, you've lost the plot. What are you there for? This is Acquire with Ashok. Let's wait for some answers. Thank you.